All right, Matt, UFC Singapore coming at us early this weekend from the Singapore Indoor Arena in the old city-state of Singapore. And listen, we have a really fun fight in our co-main event, but it's not really co-main event material between Michael the Menace Johnson and old Braveheart, Stevie Ray. And listen, it's a fun fight. We've talked about Michael Johnson a lot in the past. You can go back through the Fight Night Picks catalog. You can find everything we said about Michael Johnson. We've talked to Michael Johnson on here before, but you look at a guy in Johnson, he's got some crazy wins that just don't make sense if you're looking at it on a piece of paper, but he technically and typically fights to the level of his opponent. It's kind of weird. Like, he fought Artem Lobov back at UFC Moncton, which we covered, and it was just weird. I mean, he kind of held back a little bit.
He beat him, but it wasn't nearly as bad as you would think Michael Johnson would beat Artem Lobov.
No, and I mean, you look at Stevie Ray, and he's 1-3 in his last 4, and the only win was over Jessen Ayari, which was UFC Moncton.
I didn't even think he won.
But then in his last one, he fought Leonardo Santos, who I wish, Leonardo, if you're listening, fight every single weekend, man. He fights once in a blue moon.
That's unfortunate.
It was a knockout win for Santos. Now these guys are going to meet in a co-main event, and it's not like somebody dropped out due to injury. This is your co-main event.
Sorry, Singapore.
It's kind of a weird one. You've got Johnson moving back up to lightweight. You've got Stevie Ray trying to get back on the win train, I guess, if you want to say it that way. What do you expect in this one? It's weird.
Well, the good news is I do think Michael Johnson's in the division that he belongs in. I just think if you've ever watched any of the embeddeds of Michael Johnson and just him trying to get down to 145, like the amount of cardio and just the crazy stuff he had to do to cut that weight, it was probably detrimental to his skill set overall. I do think he's going to win this fight quite easily. I just think, but like you said, he fights the level of his competition, and not even in a positive way. Like, you have a guy like Stipe Miocic, who they always say, but he shows up really big when the lights come on. Michael Johnson has beat Edson Barboza and Dustin Poirier, but he also barely beat Artem Lobov and lost to Darren Elkin. So it's really hard to judge. Never put money on a Michael Johnson fight. That's kind of the whole thing that we're telling you right now, but he should beat Stevie Ray. Stevie Ray keeps on getting force fed to us how he's going to be the next big prospect. He just keeps on losing. He keeps on losing. So I think Michael Johnson's going to win this by decision, probably. Johnson
minus 325 favorite. Stevie Ray right now at a plus 250. I would agree with you. I'm going to take Johnson by decision. I mean, it's just a weird co-main event on a weird card that's buried in the morning.
If Stevie Ray loses, there's a good chance this is the last time he's in the UFC.
We will see what happens, but if you don't want to miss our 2-minute predictions here on YouTube, Fight Night Picks for UFC Singapore, Bellator 231, Bellator 232 here on YouTube,